Caught myself doing it again. I rescheduled rest. I had the space in my calendar. I had the reason for resting, not that I need one. I had the full body no to doing the thing. And still, I moved ahead with it. I said yes to someone instead of saying, I'm sorry, this is beyond my capacity. And that is the moment that I realized I was actually back in survival. So I have inherited, and I think this is going to really resonate with so many of you, a emotional pattern that rest is actually selfish, that overworking is noble, and that stillness is unsafe. Let's unpack that today. And welcome back to Resourced. This is the podcast where soul-led entrepreneurs are building sustainable success without sacrificing who they are and what they want from their life. My name is Jessica Reed, and today we are talking about a pattern that most of us are living, but very few have actually named. Maybe you've named it. Very few are brave enough to break it. And that is the emotional inheritance of overwork and guilt. So you are going to hear part of my own story today. You are going to learn how this pattern hides inside your business model and walk away with 3 reflection cues that you can journal on, meditate on, so that if you want to be the pattern breaker, you can shift this. So before I built this business, I was working in a job where I was celebrated for really pushing through. Okay, it was supposed to be 9 to 5. It was more like, I don't know, 7 till 6. It was huge. I showed up sick. This was obviously pre-COVID. We were rewarded for showing up sick. We were rewarded for not having days off. You're sitting in the office. Oh, just don't come too close. I've got a cough. I would skip my lunch breaks. I worked on my weekends and I was rewarded for it. I was promoted. I was paid significant amounts of money. I was given more responsibility, continually praised. My inner child loved it, all the recognition. But when I started this business, and really those patterns, they weren't new for me. They just really hit me physically at that point in time. When I started this business though, I brought all of that with me. I felt really guilty if I had to cancel a client session, even if I was bedridden, even if it meant that they were not going to get the best of me. I over-delivered in my programs because I really felt like I had to earn their money. I had to earn the ability to switch off. I believed that that success, had to be earned with hard work and exhaustion. And it wasn't until I started outsourcing earlier than I believed I was ready. I allowed myself to start actually canceling sessions if my energy was off, which I think is really important in this work, or if I was really unwell, and let myself feel that discomfort of doing less, that I really started to see it clearly. This wasn't about work ethic for me, even though I always told myself it was. It's because I was a hard worker. But actually, it was about worthiness. So most of us have inherited our relationship to work. We watched our mothers, our grandmothers, our caregivers rest only when everything was done. And even then, we might not have even seen it. We likely didn't see the rest for so many of us. They'd be praised for pushing through or criticized for slowing down. The nervous system learned, your nervous system, just like mine, learned that doing equals safety and stillness equals danger. So even when your mind says rest is productive and your body is saying keep going, or you are going to lose love, you're going to lose income, you're going to lose respect. And this is showing up in your business. Your launches that are built on urgency, your client containers that dramatically overgive, your fear of taking up space because we haven't felt safe not working. And then you've likely built your whole business model on this, which is why you're running yourself into the ground, which is why your clients don't feel aligned, which is why your office suite doesn't feel aligned, which is why there's no white space in your calendar. That is how I built my business foundations, or why I built my business foundations program. Because I believe in building a business based on our core values, based on our nervous system health, based on the season of life that we are in, and then building our business model around that to support that. If that's where you are at, you can get business foundations right now. I'll link it down below. There is an introductory pricing at the moment, so jump down and take advantage of that. It is completely self-paced. You can literally start rebuilding your business from the inside out straight away. But if you are resonating with this relationship to overgiving, this guilt around resting, if you know that there are patterns to break, I have 3 reflection cues here for you to explore. So the first one is to think about who in your lineage was only praised when they were working. Who was only praised for working? Where did you learn this pattern? Where did you see it over and over again? Because this is generational. This is not just about you. This is about you breaking that pattern if you choose to. What feels emotionally at risk for you when you rest? I was so scared that if I cancelled a new client or cancelled any client because I was unwell, that they wouldn't come back. I was so scared of that. And then that would be reaffirming the stories that I had about myself not being good enough. What am I afraid will happen if I slow down? This is your third prompt. What am I afraid will happen if I slow down? And then what might actually happen instead? And start to get curious about that. And surround yourself with people who are building their CEO calendar out with the white space, with a nervous system led business. And start to sit in the discomfort. I really challenge you to do less this week. I challenge you to invite in rest. I challenge you to really sit through the discomfort of thinking this is lazy. Let yourself breathe with these. You don't have to journal on them right now. You can go deep into it. You can meditate on it later. But just let these questions ripple in you. Now, you can start to, or a pattern that I've noticed, is that we often then tie our worth to our wins. And a big part of that is because we have decided that if we are not doing, if we are slowing down, if we are not proving all of the time, then we are unworthy. And so if this is stirring something in you, your next step is to download my free private podcast resource. This is called the Resilient Entrepreneur. Okay, it is a quiet, potent space for realignment and disconnection of your worth to your wins and building that emotional resilience that you need as an entrepreneur to build your business from. It is completely free. You can access it right now at jessicareed.com/private podcast, or you can jump down to the show notes. And if you take one thing away from today, and I know this sounds like a ChatGPT line, you see it everywhere. You're not broken, you're not behind, you're not lazy. But I am actually going to say you're not lazy. You're not lazy for needing rest. You are not selfish for protecting your energy. Okay, what you are doing is healing what was never yours to carry, because you are allowed to build a business that doesn't run on overwork, and you don't have to do this alone. So start in the private podcast, go and get your free Resilient Entrepreneur private podcast series, and then come back to me next week. Resourced, I will see you next Tuesday when the next episode drops. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, you are so welcome to come and have a conversation on Instagram. Let me know what landed for you today. Let me know how uncomfortable it is for you to start breaking these generational patterns of overworking and overgiving. And I will celebrate the crap out of you. I was going to say a swear word. I will celebrate you so deeply for starting this work. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to Resource with Jessica Reed.
If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with another soul-led entrepreneur who is also ready to rise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected, because when you are deeply resourced, you become unstoppable. Until next time, my friend, stay resourced, stay radiant, and trust in the magic that is you.